All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Akim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe it on the gospel. And it's the brother Quara Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson the Lord willing to do be edifying. And it's from the apostles live camp, from this past weekend, from Saturday. And it's been on my spirit to kind of touch on it anyway, but schedule ain't allow it, but it was kind of still on my spirit today to touch on, and it's coming down to this point to we in the times to what the Lord gonna show who he dealing, like who he gave his spirit to on the earth, who he opened up their mind to on the earth to understand his truth to and what's to come in the earth to be able to go out there and speak that, man. And look, this happened throughout all history. The Heavenly Father, the prophets have been here since the world began. Since the world began, and they was sent here in the last days. For example, in Revelation the 18th chapter, when Babylon the Great, which is the last heathen empire to rule before the Lord come back, or it will be ruling when the Lord come back, it says that once that's destroyed, the apostles and the prophets will rejoice and be glad at that, man. Which shows so in the latter days, you will have the apostles and the prophets and the believers back here today. But again, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna get this first in Amos. In Amos, because the prophets have been since the world began, but they was gonna be sent here in the last times. And you have to be like, we have to be real, like, and now we see it, like, even Bishop Nate and them. Now he want to talk about if they throw a microchip in there. What you mean if? What you mean if? Ain't no if. And while all of a sudden now you want to talk about the C-HEP. All of a sudden now everybody want to talk about the digital system. We're talking about within Israel, a lot of people changing their tune, trying to tap into the digital system, what's going on. But even in the world, more so the world, more like these Edomites, these Republicans, they tapping into and they see a digital system is coming. But who been talking about that though? And I say this, yeah, the Apostle Tahar, the Apostle Gabal, Rachel Ramlab, the bishops, in Connecticut, the elders, these men have been going into these things. But you know what make the difference though? I gotta get Wisdom of Solomon as well. Wisdom of Solomon 9, we're gonna get that first. You know what make the difference? A lot of people, you would type in Mark of the Beast or MOTB or digital system on YouTube, Rumble. Yeah, to come up with videos. People got some good information. We use some of their information to edify the body with. But this will make the difference though. The apostles been saying these things before all the technology and stuff really popped off, and tying that to biblical prophecy and everything that's going on with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They the ones who've been tying all this together. You see? Yeah, digital system, but the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, in his empire, it was gonna happen. At the end of America and the things we see as it's playing out, they've been said these things are gonna happen. And I want to get Revelation 14 too. And I'm gonna play this video from the apostles, from the they past three speaking, because Apostle Tahar was asking the Bishop Sakaran to go into ChatGPT and asking different questions about the data centers. What's the point of the data centers, right? Will data centers be used for the MOTB? And the answers that ChatGPT gave, right, is according to what the prophecy say, but what the prophet's been saying, man. But let me get this real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and verse 17. It says, "And thy counsel," talking about the Heavenly Father, "and thy counsel who have known, except thou give wisdom and send thy Holy Spirit from above." And that's how men go find out these things. It says, I'm gonna read verse 18 too. "For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom." And one of the main things in these times that has been told to men is don't take the MOTB. That's the last major prophecy. Let me get this real quick. Amos 3 and verse 6. "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? it says, surely, I'm gonna read this in Amos 3 in the NLT. I'm reading the KJV too, but KJV first. Amos 3:17. Surely Yahweh power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. So before the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, because Yahushai said all judgment have been given unto him. So you got to throw him in there. So and before they do anything in the earth, guess who they tell it to first? The prophets. And these gonna be the men who reveal it unto the world, and not just come out with a video. You know, a lot of people like ISUPK, you know, like the scoff and say that we are Great Millstone are prophets of Alex Jones, you know, because he talked about the C-hip before or some things, but nobody have been going into day in, day out in detail, different you know, the different levels of the technology. You know, like you got the Elder Ariala in Dallas. You got along with the Elder Required Quam out there in England. You see, and different men touching on all type of information, giving different view perspectives, different portions of how the system going from here, then the next step, then what's the next step, as it's going to lead to the major prophecy, which is the MOTB. You don't have people in the world constantly touching on these things, man. But the Lord have revealed them unto his servants, the prophets. Now you have people talking about them. Real quick in the NLT, Amos 3:7 in the NLT. Indeed, the sovereign Lord never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video of the apostles at camp, and then we'll kind of just build. Oh, let me get Revelation 14 real quick. I gotta get it. Well, we're gonna wait. Let's just play it.
If they put it on a Patreon, you can only watch him say you're gonna say on Patreon.
I kind of gotta get Revelation 14. I kind of got to, because this is gonna make another point. The main point right here, Revelation 14. Check this out. Because it's going into, at the end of the world, the message that the Heavenly Father was going to send on earth. And that was going to be spoken. And it's going to be spoken through the prophets. And it's three, like the brother, my bro Osmowath in Dallas, he'll put it like this. It's three main components of the gospel. And we about to read it right here. We about to read it. And one of them, that will be a constant message in the earth by these men, would be the MOTB. That's another sign. The MOTB will be constantly talked about, along with the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh and Yahushai. Got to tie them to it. You know, the fear of the Lord, as it go into. That's been spoken by the men, you know, not being biased, just being truthful. Looking to the earth. Like really looking to the, well, not earth, but earth, right? Looking to the earth. Out of all people on the earth, who have been serious about talking about this very prophecy itself. Again, yeah, you had church pastors and all that talk about it, but when the last time they did a video on it? Years ago? When the next time they go update? Bringing it out, and again, tying the true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh and Yahushai, to it. Think about that. Like, it's we real life amongst these very men who the Lord revealed this unto. And now we're part of that, telling other people as well. Like, we in the inner circle, we have found out about these things, right? But let's read this real quick. This Revelation 14. And I'm going to start at verse 4 because it's going to get the men who was talking about. Revelation 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and to the Lamb. Talking about what we're going to read it, right? Nope. Verse 3, Salakia. It says, Revelation 14:3, that's going to tell us who it is. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song, but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are those men who was talking about. And it says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. And that's another thing. The apostles never changed the doctrine up. You know, they never changed the doctrine up. And they never went from the MOTB is sin. They never went from, well, isn't it embargo, right? Then they ain't change it to say, well, it's digital ID, and they might throw a mic. They never changed it. It's been the same definite answer the whole time. It's just been more expounded on the different ways it could come and how they building up the system and the foundation of the digital prison to get to the MOTB. Come on, man. It says, these are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which followed the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto the Most High and unto the Lamb. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. Now check this out. This the point. I just want to start up there to show who is going to be talking about. It says, verse 6, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth. Now it says an angel was given this everlasting gospel to preach unto people on the earth. It ain't no angel nowhere on earth right now telling people the MOTB. Like I'm talking about a real angel, on earth right now, breaking it down. This is going to be the spirit that the Lord putting on these very men, the 144,000, and they was going to be raised up, as we got in Amos, to preach these things once the secrets have been revealed, to preach these things on earth, to teach these things to the people, go into it how the system go come. Let's read about what's going to be some of the main things they're going to talk about as they have, as it say, the everlasting gospel. Revelation 14 said only 144,000 was given that privilege of knowing a new song. So these going to be the men who preaching on earth, and this was some of the main things they're going to talk about. Let's read them. And I saw another, and we're going to play the video. And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people, saying, so this gonna be the main thing, saying with the loud voice, fear the Most High Yahweh, and we got to throw Yahweh Shai in there, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains and the waters, fountains of the waters. And that's another part about it. That's why the name important. It ain't just fear God. That's a title. Fear the Lord. That's a title. Fear who? That's why IUIC is important to bring the names out. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. So the world know who about to do these things. It says, and there follow another angel saying, there's going to be another part of the message. Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she have made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. So talking about the downfall of America, Babylon the Great. Let's see what the third one go be. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice. So this was these men go talk about often on earth, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, it ain't say right or left hand, it says hand, if you get it, period. It says the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And it says, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they had no rest day or night, day nor night, who worship the beast and his image. Right, you down with the you eventually bow to the new world order system. It says, and whosoever received the mark of his name. So again, this was going to be one of the main things, as the 144,000 of prophets was going to be on earth. The spirit that the Lord was going to put in them was going to talk about the MOTB and the judgment that come with it. I got to read 12. It says, and here is the patience of the saints, and here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. We believe in that. We believe that's going to come. So let's play this video of the apostles, and because they're going to speak on it. They're going to ask ChatGPT some questions. They're going to speak on it.
I'll pay. How much is it paid? $100. Here it is. I mean, as long as I can film that shit. I'm gonna tell you something. You and General Yohana, everybody's talking about the mic. Even Queen Amidala, she did a show on it. And I did a little cut, and she was going into the digital system, and she didn't say chip, then the other chick, Tommy Bites, that chick from down south, she basically, everybody's saying it. They all saying it's the chip, the data centers, man. They said they building data centers, like they're taking like 10 miles. We're taking all this shit in 10 miles, and we're gonna build a data center right here.
Now I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna let the apostles do their thing, right? But just to kind of give some background and set, kind of what they're gonna talk about. We see this happen in the data centers. The apostles to Hall gonna ask the question, what's the point of the data centers? And we gonna get to it on why we see these things happening. It all boils down to the fourth industrial revolution and it's MOTB being put into people, man. Being put into people, but we seeing the foundation, the infrastructure of it happening now. It's gonna happen fast. It's gonna happen fast, so fast.
Building data centers all over the country, literally, and all over. Ask Google a question: are they building data centers all over the planet Earth, or are they building data centers outside the U.S.?
Are they building data centers all over the Earth? It says yes.
Come on.
It says data centers are experiencing an unprecedented global construction boom.
So, but they're not telling you that. They're going on a U.S. thing. They try to. The only reason why we know about data centers is because these alternate media YouTube pages, right? Because CNN ain't saying that because it's supposed to be a secret, right? But I didn't know they were doing it all over the planet Earth. Read that again, please, my brother.
It says, well, the question posed was, are they building data centers all over the Earth? The answer is yes. Data centers are experiencing an unprecedented global construction boom.
And what's this big interest in doing it all over the world? Because that's a part of the system.
New World Order.
To keep the New World, which is the chip.
Hear them out. Hear them. And look, the apostle this ain't their first video saying this. And the thing is, when this come, you're gonna have people in the world, because people in the world, they know who certain camps are, who certain men are. They watch, like the scriptures say, unknown but well known. But when this thing really hit, especially within Israel, guess who everybody go think about? When the MOTB really come and the digital system really is established, guess who everybody go think about? It really is the apostle to Hall first and foremost. He won't take no breaks on it because it's in his spirit. But great millstone, man. Because this is a thing that Revelation 14, we just read it, what the spirit was going to send into the prophets to talk about.
Yeah.
So they're going to know when you're walking down the street, they'll say, put in Tahar Bun Lawyer. Pop, I'm walking down the street, right? The camera comes on. They got me walking down the street.
Yeah.
I go over here to use the bathroom. Oh, he's using the bathroom right now, Oh, I hop in my car. He went to this gas station. He spent this amount of money.
The Truman Show.
That's what that is, the Truman Show.
Truman Show.
Do you ever watch the movie The Truman Show? Did you see the movie The Truman Show? You were young. You probably, yeah. I think you can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it for free on YouTube. The Truman Show is a great movie to see because what they did was they had this guy living, but they didn't tell him.
And what I'm gonna do is I got timestamps, so I'm gonna kind of click in. I do got the another video pulled up. The Apostle Hall posted on this page, and I think it's kind of cut up, so I might just play that.
We're filming you. They just had him living life, and they had cameras all over. He didn't know. They even gave him a wife, which was an actress. Then eventually he started figuring it out that they filming me. So guess what? Now who said that? Somebody went into that, and he said, "You notice?" I believe it was your boy, Jeff Berg. He said, "You notice they call him the true man,
Right.
the true man, because the true man's gonna figure it out."
Yeah.
So we are the what? We are the true man or the true men, right? I'm glad you said that. The Truman Show.
Gotta read it again. The true men. Amos 3:7 NLT. Indeed, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, never does anything until he reveals his plans to his servants, the prophets, right? Or his secrets, you see, unto the true men. We read it in Revelation 14. It's the message of the true men. A part of the MOTB is a part of the message of the true men. Let me jump right here to 29.
Better have the receipts that you sent this chick money. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
let's come back to where we at.
Numbers 12 and 1. And
Oh, I'm sorry. Ask this question. A follow-up to the data centers. What
So
is
remember, he asked the data centers. Is the data centers being built across the world? They said yes. So this is follow-up question.
the ultimate purpose of the data centers?
Up to that. What is the ultimate purpose of the data center? It says the ultimate purpose of a data center is to securely and efficiently house the computing, storage, and networking infrastructure needed to run, process, and distribute the digital world.
You got to ask the right questions.
They have a show on Netflix called Person of Interest.
Okay, we're gonna watch it.
Camera follows everybody.
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Cameras following everybody.
I got to check it out.
And they hear everything.
Yeah, you know what? They're conditioning the people. They're getting the people ready. You're right.
Person of Interest on Netflix.
There's a lot on Netflix. I got it. I pay every month. I never watch. I got to start watching. They bring in a lot of good movies. They got one called The Boys. It's about superheroes. I was watching the trailer. Then there was another one that they mentioned, but I think that's on Amazon. I forget the name of it, but they're giving you the information, man. What's the name of it again?
Person of Interest.
And it's all about
That's what it's about.
Okay. That's it.
Like the whole
It's almost like Enemy of the State with Will Smith. Now that's a heavy movie. That's another one, man. And that came out in the 90s. They had cameras everywhere this nigga went. They had cameras on his ass, man.
And that's the New World Order. That's what that eye is all about. The eye on top of the pyramid. Man, complete. They see. That's why Esau thinks he's the Most High. So he can see. He's omnipotent. He's everywhere. He can see everybody at any time.
Well, he says, I am the Most High.
Yeah.
That's in 2 Thessalonians 2, and also in Ezekiel 28. Matter of fact, go to that, Ezekiel 28 and 1.
You get this?
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm going to read this real quick for the sake of the lesson. It's Revelation 13. And verse, let me hit the blue letter. And we're going to go back to that. But you see what the Apostle Paul, he asked the first question. What's the point of he said, are data centers being built across the world? It says yes. He said, what's the point of it? Right? What's the point of it? They said because it's going to bring and start the infrastructure to the digital order, the digital world order. It said digital world order. If I'm not mistaken, I think it said world, right? But he gonna ask some more questions, and it's gonna lead to the MOTB, the sea hipping people, man. This Revelation 13 and verse I started at 11 because it's going into America. It says, and I beheld another beast come up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. In Revelation 13, when you go into this shows really the so-called white man, his rise in world domination and becoming a power in the earth until all the way to the end game, as he gonna lose his power and his last ditch effort. You know, his last ditch effort. This pretty much his Fumaruski call. You know, you lose it at the end of a game, you do a trick play. This is Fumaruski, and it's the MOTB because he came into power starting with the Greeks, Alexander the Great, then the Romans, right? Then Rome fell. Now it's going into Rome coming back in the form of America now, though. You know, and you know his allies, which they breaking apart NATO and the EU. But the point is showing pretty much an overview of the so-called white man coming into power, you know, then eventually falling from power, then coming back. And when he come back, he will come back a little stronger this time. Right? We dropping fire from the earth. I mean, from the heavens on the earth, right? With miracles to make people believe. And that's what we seeing right now in front of us. Elon Musk said the other day, we able to do with this technology, we able to do Jesus-like miracles. They trying to cancel out the Lord with the technology. And we living in this part right here. Let's read it. Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. This America. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And that's the form of government that we see, right? The democratic form of government. You got two different parties. You have other parties, but the two main ones that everybody focus on, Democratic and Republican, right? Which is the same thing they had back then in Rome with the plebeians and the patricians. And it goes on to say, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him. So America was going to come back tapping into what Rome had going, right? And causes the earth, which is that's the dragon Rome, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And that's how we know America can't last. It started from a deadly wound. It started from a deadly wound, you know? As America came into being, it says, and causes, and he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, and we see that today. Everybody try to really be like America. All nations, America got the influence of the world. You know, this was the place where technology popped off and advancement of the world popped off, you know, and that spread throughout the world. But really, they got it from Rome. All these things are just a modern Rome in the form of America. And this is what the Lord was going to bless it at. And we seeing some of these things. It says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. In the sight, as we see everyday life, this is the power that the so-called white man have been given. 6G. Even a simple thing as iPhone. Now, a lot of things was really like miracles in the world, especially in the ancient world, is common to us because this where he took it at. You got robots that they about to put out a whole fleet of robots in the earth. You can bomb. You just buy a robot, do your laundry and clean your dishes. You see? Put some of these things that we see today that's common to us. I'm on a laptop, y'all listening to me across wherever brothers and you know, Aqua that, just we live right now. If we show some of these things in the ancient world, that will blow their mind. Right? That will blow their mind. FaceTime somebody across the world. The point is, we seeing these things, the power he have been given by way of technology on earth. So much so he go try to put it in people so he can become the most high. And we reading the last ditch effort of the white man trying to keep his power. This is Revelation 13. How he came into power, the Greeks, then eventually into Rome and conquered the known earth. Then he kind of fell. He had a deadly wound for a short time, which is the Dark Ages. And then he came back in the Renaissance. And that's where we get Revelation 13. Really, you can start at 9 and 10 and 11. He came back into the earth. Now he got technology now. It ain't just military, it's technology too. His deception, went up some levels now. He upgraded. And this now at the end of his empire, this was going to be the last thing he was going to try to do to keep his system, to keep his power. And we're going to go back to the video. It says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them, right? Like Revelation 20 say, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's where he's taking it now. The NWO, The New World Order. Everybody is got to be on the same playing field. And if you don't get down with this system, you could be X'd out of society, whether physically killed or X'd out of society. To verse 16. And he causeth all. This is the end of the white man. It's the last thing he gonna try to do to keep his power. This is the last thing he gonna try to do. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Charagma. No, it's charagma. Right? Hey, inside joke. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's charagma, man. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, which is the MOTB, the RFID micro C-HIP, man. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It's going to be the last thing the so-called white man going to try to do on the earth. So let's go back to this. Let's jump to 50.
Deficit diet. But she's very nice.
Yeah.
There's a reason why she's very nice.
Yeah, well, yeah.
She don't get no love. He read that in Ezekiel 20, chapter 28. So there it is again. He's sitting up there like he's the Most High because of the technology. Now, I didn't know what the answer was going to be when I told you to go into data centers around the world. Let me ask you this.
Now, remember the Apostle to hard questions, man. First, he asked, is it data centers being built across the world? ChatGPT said, yes, across the world. Then he said, well, what's the point? It says, because it's going to be used for the infrastructure for the digital system, the worldwide digital system. This is the other question, the third.
This question to the chat. Let me see how I'm going to phrase it. Does the data centers around the world have anything to do with the fourth industrial revolution?
Come on now. And why he's saying that, I'm gonna pull up another video real quick.
That's a
Good
long
question.
one.
That's a good question.
Because of the technology. Now, I didn't know what the answer was going to be when I told you to go into data centers around the world. Let me ask you this. Ask this question to the chat. Let me see how I'm going to phrase it. Does the data centers around the world have anything to do with the fourth industrial revolution? That's a
Good
long
question.
one.
That's a good question.
Now, I'm gonna pause and we're gonna play it back. What is the fourth industrial revolution? Right? What's the fourth industrial revolution? Let me go to this real quick. We'll play a video from Klaus Schwab. And this is where we at right now. Let me see. So throughout America coming into power, let's just look at this one. And it'll kind of give us a better idea what the apostle asking right here. So it says industrial revolution, and it's just a random website. It says transforming industries and innovation. So as the so-called white man got power, it said in Daniel 12 that knowledge shall increase in the earth. And pretty much in a short point of time. Well, this the stages that it went through. It says in industry 1, right? So the first industrial revolution. It says mechanization, steam, power, and weaving loom, right? I don't know if this is good. I want to get a better one. Let me see. Better one. That's it. It says so the second industrial revolution, right after you had the steam and trains, right? It says the second industrial revolution was mass production, assembly line, electrical energy, right? You have Ford. If I'm not mistaken, let me see what Ford. Let's type in Ford assembly line. Yeah, so from 1913. Okay, so probably a little after that. That was a part of it though. Mass production, see, Ford assembly line. It says the Ford automobile, and it just came to mind for an example of the second industrial revolution. It says the Ford automobile assembly line began operating on December 1st, 1919, revolutionizing the manufacturing process and making cars more affordable to the masses. It says mass production. Let me ask this real quick. Well, I'm in the dark. It's a lot. There we go. Was the Ford assembly line a part of the second industrial revolution? Okay, just because we've been taught about the men who we got a fact check, you know. So it says yes, Henry Ford's implementation of the moving assembly line in 1913 is considered one of the defining achievements of the second industrial revolution. So that's an example, right? As the world was Fording itself. It says so. First one was mechanization, steam, and power. Second, mass production, assembly line, electrical energy. The third one was automation, computers, and electronics, and that started in 1969. Rough. Ooh, man. Hey, I thought of Revelation 11. Yeah, Revelation 11. Eldaba Bivens. Right, 1969, when things were starting to increase. That's when stood upon our feet. But it says automation and electronics. So the fourth industrial revolution. It says cyber physical systems, Internet of Things, and networks. So now you went from, they go from the third industrial revolution, computers and all that. That's what we've been living in. And really, you could say starting in 2020, that's when they fast track things. Now, not just computers and technology, but the fourth industrial revolution, they want to link man with the technology, man with machine. And I'm going to say this, the first person I personally heard say the term or the phrase of the Internet of Things and the Internet of Bodies, personally myself, is the Apostle Tahar. I never heard until he said that, man. The Internet of, and this was years ago, Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies. You know, now I just heard the Internet of Everything, EOE, you see, or EOI, whatever, right? Internet of IOE, whatever, Internet of Everything. So the fourth is Internet of Things, the digital cloud, digital coordination, and cyber physical systems and robotics. Let's play this video real quick, and then we're gonna go back to the Apostle Tahar. This Klaus Schwab, and he's gonna go into the fourth industrial revolution and say how it's not just gonna change life itself, but it's gonna change the people. Meaning what? Revelation 13. Something got to go into people now.
The fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume. It will change actually us, our own identity.
I'm gonna pause it. We're gonna play it again. I'm gonna let it run through as a quick video. He said it ain't just gonna change, pretty much how the other industrial revolutions change and advance the world, but it's gonna change the people themselves. Why and how? The MOTB, that RFID micro C here, man, it's all prophecy. And who are the men that the Lord gave that to? Who like, come on, man. We just happen to be blessed to be amongst the ones who really understand this thing. You have a lot of people who understand. I was watching Edomites all day today on Rumble and everything, going into the MOTB system. Some videos we might even use for the Thursday Live. But the thing is, they don't really get it how the Lord gave it to the prophets and the believers to get it, how he gave it to us to get it, Like they can't really tie it to the scriptures and tie it to Esau, the so-called white man. And you feel me? And how this, they can't really link everything together. The Apostle Ramlab talked about that in his lesson, whether it was today or yesterday, going into how you have these people like Gerald Salente and what's his name? General Douglas McGregor, and these different people who talk about World War III and the wars, but they never link it to how the war happening is bringing in an MOTB, the digital system. That's what the lesson is. Who did the Lord really give this information to constantly talk about it? Not a whole world talking about it, but who been doing it, man? Let's play it again. And it's exciting to see all this happen, you know?
The fourth industrial revolution will impact our lives completely. It will not only change how we communicate, how we produce, how we consume, it will change actually us, our own identity, and of course gives life to such policies and developments like smart traffic, smart government, smart cities. What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society. And this revolution will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami.
Come on, man. That's all we got to play. I'm going to put that in the chat if y'all watch the whole thing. He said this system will come with breathtaking speed like a tsunami, right? Driven by all these things, but it's the MOTB ultimately, man. Let's go back to the apostles because he asked the question. Does data... that's what he said. Driven by big data. What you mean? Oh, and this lesson, not lesson, but this video was 9 years ago. 9 years ago. We living in what he was talking about back then. You know, Esau got their little soothsayers and prophets and, you know, monthly prognosticators on the earth. There's one of them. Boy, there's one of them. So what he was talking about that they planned on doing back then, we happen to be living in a time that is they doing it now. Driven by big data. And going back to the apostle question, what's the point of data centers? Do it have anything to do with the fourth industrial revolution?
To the chat.
And what's the fourth industrial revolution? Man being merged with machine.
Let me see how I'm going to phrase it. Does the data centers around the world have anything to do with the fourth industrial revolution? That's a
Good
long
question.
one.
That's a good question.
I think you got it right.
Okay, it says, yes,
Ooh.
data centers are the foundational infrastructure of the fourth industrial revolution.
Wow.
They provide
So it says yes. I don't know. I'm sure y'all can hear the Bishop Soccer around in the back, but it says yes. I'm gonna let him get down.
the massive computer.
I think you got it right.
Okay, it says, yes,
Ooh.
data centers are the foundational infrastructure of the fourth industrial revolution.
Wow.
They provide the massive computing power, storage, and network connectivity required to process and analyze the enormous streams of data that fuel modern transformative technology.
Now, where's all the data coming from? You and you and you
Yep,
and
yep.
you and
Yep.
you.
We give them the data.
They're saying that these data centers are they're hoarding all the waters.
There's a lot of energy.
Yeah,
A lot of energy.
and they're making people of those towns. They'll tell them, look, don't take showers these days. Don't wash dishes. Don't.
Shows you that they don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
And real quick, it says pretty much it said that the data centers are the main component in order to start the fourth industrial revolution, and we know that's merging man with machine. The thing is that we seeing this coming, and Klaus Schwab just said out his own mouth, it's gonna come at breathtaking speed. They got to do it quick, and they got the perfect man in office, Trump. You know, he came with Operation Warp Speed, you know, which is like a precursor to now. He gonna come with Operation MOTB, you know, speed. You know, at the end of the world, Revelation 12:12. You know, he got a short time.
Oh, definitely.
Famine and thirst is coming because now the farms ain't gonna have enough water.
And now you know Moab is doing the same thing, data centers.
Oh yeah, of course.
Building them in the sea.
They started
Right.
before America, man. That's the model.
But you see how they less wicked. They're building them up.
Yeah. Well, that's right. That makes
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Esau
And-
right here is doing it.
And he's doing it. He don't give a damn.
Esau don't give a damn. He don't care.
Oh, they asked this guy recently,
The
Nero.
wild man.
The wild man.
The wild
They asked him about the finances of the Americans. He said, I'm not concerned with that. He said that. That was a couple of weeks ago. I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned with this thing. And
What was it?
it used to be.
Hey, let us know. I had to change this thing out. Pastor Bar's phone was about to die off. Let me know if you can hear us.
It was the governor giving them.
And then their manufacturers plans are mostly robots now.
Sounds good. All right, this ain't sounds good. So now it's operating off your phone. Right? So
Close. Now, I want you to ask a follow-up question.
okay, so like, yep.
We got another question. Remember the third question was, does data centers have anything to do with the fourth industrial revolution? And Chat GPT said yes, it's pretty much the main component of the fourth industrial revolution. And again, what is that? Merging man with machine. It's the fourth question.
Is microchipping humans part of the fourth industrial revolution?
Okay.
The fourth question is microchipping humans a part of the fourth industrial revolution? We see data centers are. So now is microchipping humans a part of the fourth industrial revolution?
Is microchipping humans a part of the fourth industrial revolution? It says yes. Is microchipping humans a part of the fourth industrial revolution?
Now, what did you read before that? You said the fourth industrial revolution is part of the what? The data center.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
all coming
right,
together.
right.
See, it's all coming together.
Internet of Things. Yeah.
They sold out.
Yep.
They sold the book out.
Yep.
Bring it down.
Okay. Yeah, it says, I'll read the question again. It says, is microchipping humans a part of the fourth industrial revolution? The answer, it says, yes, human microchipping is considered a tangible application of the fourth industrial revolution.
That's part of the fourth industrial revolution.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you waiting for? Huh? General Yohana, what are you waiting for? Captain Zarek, what are you waiting for? Captain Kansai, what are you waiting for? You're going to find out. The world will find out. The GMS comes to these scripts. We are numero uno.
And I don't know if you can hear him though, the wind blowing, but he's saying when it's all said and done, the world gonna find out that great millstone was numero uno, and talking about the MOTB. And again, we went in Revelation 14 earlier that the Lord was going to send 144,000 men, and we know that was the prophets, right? Of course, in different lifetimes. But the point is, it was going to be three main messages of what they was going to be saying on the earth. The first one was fear the heavenly Father Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, because judgment is coming to the earth. The second one was that Babylon the Great will be destroyed. The third one was, and don't submit to the image of the beast. And it says, don't take the mark of the beast. It says that don't take the mark of the beast. And if you do, it followed up. So these men won't just go tell you, well, it may be a trip, or, well, we always take shots when we travel to Africa, sister. Right? No, they go tell them not to take it, just like the apostles and the bishop, elders, brothers, not to take the jab. It ain't gonna be a thing of, well, because if you tell somebody, well, no, the MOTB not it ain't the RFID help, right? When that thing is mandated, they go think in their mind, well, it's not that mark of the beast, so I can take it. No, that's what, and everything the Lord do is definite. It ain't no gray areas. Revelation 13, what this MOTB was going to be, Revelation 14, the prophets talked about it, and they said, if you get this very thing, you're going to get destroyed. When the Lord come and these missiles fall, it ain't a gray area, and now we can see that this is happening.
Prophecies, man. Shai got us on top of it. Facts.
You got the color trying to say white
Your black ass. That's what you should be worried about. A car.
I'm gonna jump up. We about to end. I want to get one more in Ezekiel 12 because it's gonna go into how eventually within Israel, you're gonna have these people not being able to say what they want to say. You know, no more flattering divinations like your Bishop Nate, where it's embargo, or it's the image of Jesus, or 666 white women like ISUPK. At the end of the day, when this thing start really playing out and showing itself for really what it is, they ain't gonna better say what they want to say no more. It may be a microchip. You ain't gonna better say that no more because it's gonna have to be that. So the Lord gonna back these false prophets into a corner, man. Because once this thing really start playing, it's playing out in us who got the eyes to see. But once it's obvious in the earth, now what they gonna say? Can you say Jacob's trouble gay when we at the doorsteps of Jacob's trouble and life hard? Can you say the MOTB not the RFID micro C-HIP when it's mandated and you gotta get it in a digital system going now? You can't just say it's sin no more. Wi-Fi, Watchman for Israel. Y'all can't just say it's sin no more. And I ain't heard an update on the mark of the beast from them in like 4-5 years. Last time they did the 4-hour lesson. You see? It's just been that Bishop Nate been in IUIC been pressured to do a lesson because the apostles constantly call him out. But these other camps who were saying it's sin, just like what's the brother's name? Call him Elder Joel. What camp that is? Sons of Thunder. You see, Sons of Thunder, they said the same thing, right? They said, right, the MOTB is you believe it in your mind, and then you act it out with your right hand. They ain't gonna be able to say that when this thing go digital. What's the update? As you see in the world go towards that way, what's the update video? Is it still that? Is it still sin? Come on, man.
Says,
In boxing, you want to hit a nigga with the body shot. When his head goes down, you go pump, pump. When he goes down, then you hit him. You knock him back up. Put his head back up and hit him again. And knock his ass out while he's knocked out.
all right, we posed a question.
Come on, let's go.
We posed that question. By what means? Google said people are integrated into the Internet of Everything through hardware interfaces, data transmission frequencies, software applications, and network infrastructure.
They're dancing with it. They're playing with it.
Does that follow up with? Does that have anything to do with microchipping humans?
That's what they're doing.
Does that have anything to do with microchipping humans?
Access denied. Classified. Information classified.
Oh, they gave me the answer. No,
Yeah. Google said yes.
Yep.
Subdermal implants.
Oh, good.
I hear that. So yes, the fourth industrial revolution in these data centers is to bring the MOTB, man. It's to bring the MOTB, which is the RFID microchip, which in the Bible is the mark of the beast, man.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, wait a
minute. We
We're looking at the very man who've been talking about these things before it became popular.
Yeah, right.
Close the book.
Yeah.
Read that again.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
They didn't
No,
see
read the
some
question.
bullshit.
All right.
Read the question. Read the question.
Okay.
So Nate can hear.
Yeah.
So the bishop.
You know what's so funny? You know what just hit me? Who else? Who every other person I watch who go into MOTB videos like these Edomites, they be so scared, right? They hearts be hurting, and they just say things like, let's just pray Christ get us through this, and we just go believe in God against the Antichrist. Man, what other men on earth like the apostles? They laughing and excited. I'm over here laughing, like a little kid. Who else laughing and excited to hear a digital system coming? Who else laughing and excited to hear the government gonna try to put a chip in people? But why though? Because we want this to happen. We agree with what the Lord plans are, man. Come on, man. Look how excited these men are compared to other people y'all may see talking about a digital system, the MOTB. Come on, man.
Anything to do with microchipping humans?
That's what they're doing.
Does that have anything to do with microchipping humans?
Access denied. Classified. Information classified.
Oh, they gave me the answer. No,
Yeah. Google said yes.
Yeah.
subdermal implants.
Oh, good.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wait a
minute. We going home.
Yeah, right.
Close the book.
Yeah.
Read that again.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
No, read the
Caesar
question.
Borgia.
All right.
Read the question.
Okay.
So Nate can hear it.
Yeah,
So
Nate
the
can
bishop can hear it.
The bishop.
Yeah, chew on that one, Bishop.
All right, we posed the question, does that have anything to do with microchip in humans? Google said yes. Subdermal implants, RFID and NFC technologies are the exact hardware and communication channels used to microchip humans.
Come on, man.
This part of the speaking, we got to cut it out, man. Make a video.
Yeah. That's,
You got to flood the,
yeah.
this part, this.
You're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. GMS is the number one group, and the prophets say GMS.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we the true prophets.
Yeah.
We the only ones that get. You got all these Queen Amidala, or Tommy Bites, all of them. They Edomites. They're talking about the chip now.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it since we got on YouTube. Right?
Futurist interpretations look at how this economic.
By the way, we're
You know what? I'm gonna end it off on that. I got one more, and this what we about to see within the nation of Israel, man. Those who know the Israelites and apostles, man, they was getting busy. They get every camp, but with those questions, man, it was hard hitting because it got to the point. But this is what we about to see. This is Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 21. Right, Ezekiel 12 and 21. It says, "In the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man." So this is what the Lord telling Ezekiel, which again, this for our time, man, because everything is set to happen now. Like we was talking about today at camp. That wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, and uproars of the people. When we say those things, the people of the earth could say, well, that's always happened, right? That's been happening throughout world history and all those things, right? But what time in world history have you ever had wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, famines, uproars of the people, along with the Israelites waking up to who they are in the latter days, along with 2 Thessalonians 2, the Lord can't come back until the man of sin be revealed, Esau being revealed, along with all those things, as well as the MOTB. And you can't forget World War III missiles. And we at the time, everybody ready to lose their mind for Jacob's trouble. The point is, no, all these things haven't happened at the same time ever in the world until now, man. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, uproars of the people, Israelites waking up to who they are, so-called white man, the wicked being revealed, the Edomites, Babylon the Great, they separate from their allies, and about to be destroyed. The MOTB and World War III, all these happen at the same time. This is now, Ezekiel 12 and 21. "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel? Saying," so this, the Lord saying, what is these Israelites talking about? This is what they saying, "the days are prolonged and every vision faileth." So the Lord got a question. Why is these Israelites saying Jacob's trouble gay? Ezekiel? Right? Why are they saying that the MOTB is sin? Huh? Why are they saying the MOTB, a digital system, ain't gonna happen? Why did Al-Azhar say 1,000 years from now we may still be here? Why they prolonging the prophecies? This is what the Lord gotta say. Verse 23. "Tell them therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand and the effect of every vision." So the Lord ain't gonna let niggas say what they want to say no more. Why and how? Because he gonna start making it happen and play out in the earth. So as it's playing out, you can't just say it's sin no more. When you gotta get the MOTB or where the whole system go digital, you can't just say it's sin no more. Now your congregation got questions, which is gonna lead us into verse 24, because everybody thought it was cool and funny at one time, but now when this thing really start playing out, now it says verse 24, "For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. These teachers ain't just gonna say things to soothe the mind of their believers no more, man. To keep getting money, to keep the 501c3. They ain't gonna better just say things that sound good. Well, they might throw a micro, they might, digital system, but it ain't a chip though. You ain't gonna better say that no more. And it's this prophecy we're reading. See, they ain't gonna better say what they want to when this thing really pop off. And we at the threshold of it. It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am Yahweh, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged, for in your days, in our lifetime. That's what it said in NLT, in our lifetime. Because it says, once the Lord is speaking, it got to come to pass, right? That's Isaiah 55. Just as rain come down from the heavens and water the earth and produce things, he says, so shall his word be. So once it start being spoken, guess what? Things got to happen in the earth. And this is the only lifetime that all the things we just mentioned are happening at once. So it got to happen. The MOTB, World War III, Israel waking up, Esau getting exposed, so on and so forth, Jacob trouble. It got to happen now. It says, for in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and the prophets are saying it, and will perform it. And we about to see it, saith the Lord power. But I'm gonna end it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I kind of just want to touch on that. But these things have been said, and it's obvious on what the MOTB is now. And according to Revelation 14, the main part of the gospel that the Lord will put in his prophets on earth will be bringing this information forth, man. But I'm in it right there. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem HaKodash, and double honors once again unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Joachim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in the gospel. And keep fighting, keep pushing, and we're almost out of here. And with that, shalom. The water for tuning in, shalom.